Just 2 weeks before Mary's wedding, she found that her sister-in-law was on the verge of a divorce. The day before the wedding ceremony, her sister-in-law decided to get divorced, so her husband said something ridiculous. He told Mary that they should cancel their wedding ceremony. Despite Mary's protests, her husband didn't change his mind, and he canceled the wedding without her permission. Angry Mary began planning her revenge. What will their future hold?
I'll be getting married in exactly 2 weeks. It's been my dream to have a wedding ever since I was a child. I've always imagined it. After looking around different venues, I finally found my ideal place. I was really excited and looked forward to it. But there was an unfortunate turn of events.
You're having some trouble before the wedding.
Is that with the venue?
There's no problem with the venue. The problem is my husband's feelings have changed.
You guys already registered your marriage, right?
Yes. 6 months ago, we registered it at City Hall. He wanted us to do it then, so we decided to have our ceremony after filing all the papers.
What do you mean your husband's feelings have changed?
My husband said something to me today.
My new sister is probably going to get divorced.
Really? They seem to get along. I guess something happened.
I didn't know anything until now. Chigi was starting on the... I'm so surprised. Kibikineru threats out bad. But they say they've already discussed it multiple times. They even talked about what they'll do after the divorce. They've already gone that far. They're really in a dangerous position then.
Yeah, my sister is seriously considering it, and it seems her husband feels the same way. So their feelings probably won't change. That's pretty sad. We just became a family too. But I guess there are things we can't understand until we get married as well.
Alright, to begin at Stevia.
My husband was serious about his sister's divorce, as if it was his own. I understood how he felt and wanted to support him. I thought to myself that I hope that him and I will be happy as a couple. But my husband was thinking something else.
Hey, is it really okay for us to have our wedding ceremony when my sister is going through this?
When I heard him say that, I had a bad feeling. So I tried expressing my feelings directly. It's definitely sad your sister is getting divorced, but I don't think we need to cancel our ceremony just because of that. If going to a wedding will upset her that much, she just shouldn't attend. That made my husband angry.
I thought you'd say that. Now you're being cold-hearted because she's not your sister. I definitely want her to attend. I wanted to celebrate this together. If my sister doesn't attend our wedding, I won't feel like having a wedding at all. IOL.
Hearing what my husband said, I also began to get mad. I don't think I'm being cold-hearted. She's probably going through a tough time, so I want to support her as much as I can. But that's a different story. I understand that you want your family to attend, but that's up to your sister, isn't it? And if she wants to celebrate with us, she'll come.
She'll probably come, but not because she actually wants to. She probably won't want to see someone happily married right after getting a divorce.
Sure, but that's up to her to decide. If she doesn't want to attend our wedding because she got divorced, that's up to her. I think it's worse to make her feel like it's her fault that we didn't have a wedding ceremony.
We won't tell her it's because of her. We can say something else came up.
The truth will definitely come out. And anyway, our wedding is in just 2 weeks. Realistically speaking, we can't cancel it now. That'll be too much for us to handle and will cause trouble for all the people we invited.
We have to tell the people we invited that it won't be taking place.
They kept the whole day open for us, so suddenly canceling will be a pain for them. And if we cancel now, when will we have our wedding? We don't know when your sister will be feeling better again.
We'll wait as long as we have to. We're already legally married anyway.
That's not the issue. I went through a lot of trouble preparing for this wedding. I'll be so sad if all that goes to waste.
If we could do it once, we could do it again. In fact, it'll probably be easier than the first time around.
I don't think so. All of that being a waste of time is so sad.
Like you're being self-centered. Our reaction. My sister who's getting divorced is obviously more sad than you.
Like that, our conversation went absolutely nowhere.
I feel bad for your sister-in-law, but that's completely unrelated.
I feel more bad for you, since you were looking forward to your wedding so much.
He's calling you cold-hearted, but he's also cold-hearted.
He really loves his little sister.
I respect my husband for taking care of his family so much, and I think it's a good thing. But as you all said, it seems like he doesn't care about my feelings at all. I wasn't able to get that across to my husband. Whatever, I get it. She's not divorced yet anyway, so there's no point in us arguing anymore.
Let's end this conversation here. That's right, Bri. These
Like that, he fortunately brought our conversation to a close. I still felt a bit uncomfortable, but I knew that even if I tried talking about it, we'd just argue. All I could do was watch over my sister-in-law and hope for the best.
Just waiting like that makes you even more nervous, huh?
Did you try talking to your sister-in-law about it?
That would be a bit tough. I don't want it to burden her, considering she's on the verge of getting a divorce, so I didn't bring it up to her. I think the big issue here is the difference in our values as a couple. I'm just praying things will turn out okay.
But at this rate, even if the wedding passes without any problems, you'll still feel a bit weird.
We found an issue where values don't match. I'm also worried about that.
We'll have to resolve that in the future, but for now, my first hurdle will be getting past our wedding. I'll handle things one by one.
I'm hoping everything goes okay.
I'm praying that your husband doesn't put you on the back burner.
By pure chance, Mary and her husband got into a fight, and neither of them had any desire to negotiate. Everything was lying in the hands of Mary's sister-in-law. So what will happen from now on?
Mary reappeared on the chat site the day before her wedding. Things got worse since the last time I spoke with you all.
I wanted to tell you guys about it, so I'm back. But things can get worse. Isn't it about time for your wedding?
Yeah, it was supposed to be tomorrow, but my husband selfishly canceled it.
So you're not going to have the wedding? And what do you mean selfishly?
Let me tell you in more detail. When my husband came back from work today, he brought up his sister's divorce again.
My little sister will be getting divorced after all. They officially decided to die, or since.
That's too bad. How is she doing?
She says she's okay, but she's definitely hurt.
Yes, they really got along well too.
And so I'm canceling our wedding. For you trace it my latest really.
Akskiri?
We talked about it before, right? If she can't come, we won't hold the ceremony.
I never agreed to that though.
If you didn't agree, why didn't you say anything? And you?
You're the one who forced the conversation to end, didn't you?
Anyway, it's decided is what he said to me. He single-handedly ended our conversation again.
I didn't consider this a joke, so I protested. Stop being so selfish. Our wedding is tomorrow. We can't just cancel now.
Why not? I trust. If we can't or we cancel, we just won't show up tomorrow.
I don't get you. You plan on causing trouble for so many people for the sake of your sister.
Well, I'm no choice. I'm sure everyone will understand. If they don't get it, they're just inconsiderate. Anyway, I'm canceling. He began calling the wedding venue. He ignored everything I said.
Your husband is completely ignoring your feelings.
The cancellation fees will probably be insane.
I doubt that my sister-in-law is pushing my husband to do this.
She's a very quiet person after all. But my husband, to put it nicely, he's a very righteous man, like in this situation. But he's so focused on his sister's feelings that he's completely forgetting mine. I felt really hurt, and of course I was angry. I realized he was a really self-centered person.
That's definitely the result of a big ego.
It's only natural that you get mad.
Oh, did you really cancel? Why would you ask her?
After my husband called the venue to cancel, I quickly thought back. If you're going to be that selfish, I'll also do whatever I want, I said, and began gathering my things. My husband looked at me in disgust.
They didn't leave the house just because the wedding was postponed. He's such a child, but I love to be his sisters.
He left and continued.
Looking at my sister get divorced, I also lost faith in our marriage. Sure. I didn't think you were such a cold-hearted person, and I never expected you to ignore my feelings like this. Wish you can leave if you want, but in that case, I'll really rethink our marriage.
His words made me even more angry. I furiously declared, "You're right, let's divorce. Seeing your attitude, I don't think I can be with you anymore. Do all you want for your sister from now on. If divorce me and forget about me."
My husband froze for a second and then began laughing as if I'd made a joke. I said I was rethinking our marriage, but this isn't something to decide so quickly. I think it's weird for you to get this angry. You're the one who regret it when you leave. Is this really okay with you?
I quickly replied, "I can't be with someone who doesn't understand why I'm angry now. I fill out the divorce forms. I'll send them to you. Bye, I persecutin." I began leaving the house, and my husband tried to stop me.
But he's serious, which was reaching out to us. You shouldn't talk about divorce so lightly. If you calm down, I want to talk this out. But don't leave, because you're Tristan.
But I didn't stop. Even if I calmed down, my feelings wouldn't change. You're the one who first brought up getting divorced. Don't forget that. Bye, I said and left. I'm back at my parents' house now. My parents were surprised at first, but when I told them what had happened, they understood. They said they would respect my decision to divorce my husband.
Things went this far because of your sister-in-law's divorce.
The way your husband acted is not normal. I hope your husband becomes a bit more reasonable now that you've made up your mind.
Are you really gonna get divorced?
It's not just a problem of our values not aligning. I'm beginning to doubt his ability to understand my feelings. That's why I'm seriously considering a divorce. I now know he's been hiding his true self. If he's that kind of selfish person deep down, I really have no faith in us being able to stay together.
Thanks to this situation, you can see how you two will be as a couple from now on.
The fact he didn't care about your feelings at all is the real problem.
I wonder what will happen now.
I don't know what will happen next, but the wedding has gone down the drain, so there's no point in worrying anymore. So how everything goes is up to you. So how everything goes from now on is up to my husband. It'll be best if he sends me back signed divorce papers, but I don't think it'll go that easily. Honestly, even if he apologizes now, I don't think I can accept it. I hope we can get a divorce without any useless arguments.
I guess you have no choice but to wait and see how your husband reacts.
I hope things turn out well for you.
Thank you. I'll let you know when I have an update.
The fact that Mary's sister-in-law's divorce could cause this sort of problem in Mary's relationship was unexpected. As her husband's actions escalated, they leaned more and more towards getting a divorce. Will the two of them really let things end like this? Mary's internet friends imagined what could happen and prayed that things will turn out for the best. Some time passed and Mary returned to the site.
I came to announce what happened with my husband.
That was faster than expected. Did you get back with him?
It'll be nice if he apologized.
But even if he did, I wouldn't feel like going back with him. We'll be getting divorced.
So that's what happened.
He came to apologize.
He's called me every day since I moved back in with my parents.
About to calm down. When I think about what you said, I realize I was probably also a bit cold-hearted. Because at the very least, it was wrong of me to completely ignore your opinion and cancel the wedding. But real minor action. Act calm. Let's talk things through. I regret if I.
He would apologize like that, but the more time I spent away from him, the more I began to think marrying him was a mistake. Sorry, but I can't forget this that easily. To be honest, I've lost trust in you.
Owing your trust back. A Dr. Potter's bike.
And then the next time something happens, you'll completely ignore my opinion again, right? I can't accept these apologies. They're coming too late. I want us to divorce.
Please wait. I want divorce. Why isn't you like this?
Me saying we should get divorced and my husband apologizing. We went back and forth like this many times. I decided to just wait for my husband to give up and didn't pick up the phone for a while. My husband ended up doing something ridiculous. He showed up at my parents' house and the first thing that came out of his mouth was, I made a new reservation for the wedding venue.
I was floored, British Ben.
It's as if nothing I said was getting to him.
This time he means you made a new reservation without your permission versus without permission.
What is he trying to do?
I guess he was trying to improve my mood, but from my perspective, he was just being scary. What was he thinking? I expressed my feelings directly. I said, I want us to divorce, but you made a new reservation for the venue. What are you thinking? I can't get what you're doing at all. It's almost scary. He slumped his shoulders.
But you left me because we did have a wedding, right? Thinking things through, I realized I should have prioritized your feelings. So I made a new reservation. That's definitely expensive, but I'd rather be poor than have to lose you. He said.
I understood Toby Ray Ease. I understood him less and less. You want me to go along with your decisions again. You really don't understand my feelings at all.
This was a solution I came up with. My sister also did it and ended up getting divorced.
Excuse me?
They went all the way to City Hall to file their divorce papers, but then they thought things through again. In the end, they decided it's better for them to try everything to stay together than to break up. So they postponed the divorce and are trying to rebuild their relationship.
Hearing that just made me angry. So now that your sister isn't getting divorced, you think it's fine for us to have a wedding. You made it seem like you had reflected on what you did. But ends up the situation had just changed. Stop trying to make a fool out of me. We're getting divorced, so there's no point in us talking anymore. I told him spitefully. I was sick and tired of the way he played around with my feelings.
Of course that make you angry.
So he made a new reservation just because his sister couldn't attend again.
He was self-centered until the very end.
This really opened my eyes. Any part of me that was wavering until now was certain. My husband hadn't realized what he had done, though he was trying very hard to hold on to me.
There, you're misunderstanding. Aria reflected on what I did. That's why I came to apologize, and why I want us to have a wedding ceremony for your sake. Please, speech firsthand. Let's go home together.
But I didn't respond to his feelings. Sorry, but I can't do this anymore. No matter what you say, my feelings won't change. I won't be going back with you, so go home. Please send the rest of my stuff to me via post. Send the divorce papers too while you're at it.
No way!
My husband nodded in disbelief. He seemed to finally understand how firm I was. That day, he went home on his own. Now it's just a question of how quickly he sends me the divorce papers. I want to be free again soon. I already lost all feelings I had for my husband.
Divorcing him as his punishment was probably the right thing to do. Sarah,
Though part of me feels like you decided too quickly.
If you didn't decide then, that would have just gone on forever. Mary decided it for herself. So isn't this for the best?
Yeah, I feel like I punished him well. I hope he regrets it.
I'm surprised his sister didn't get divorced.
He's the only one that will be stuck regretting everything in the end.
Well, as they say, you reap what you sow. I feel no sympathy for him. My problems will be completely resolved soon enough. Thanks for listening to me all this time.
You've been through the ringer.
this might be a bit early, but congrats on your divorce.
Mary's husband made mistakes due to his self-centered attitude, and in the end, he lost his wife because of it. Rather than worrying about his sister's divorce so much, he should have realized that his own relationship was in danger. But even if he regrets it now, there's no going back. I'm sure he realizes he was foolish. Mary seems surprisingly refreshed. All of Mary's internet friends hope that she'll be happy from now on.